All right, guys, welcome to class. This is Integrated Math 2. Okay, so hopefully you guys are in the right place. This is my document camera up right now. Let me introduce myself to you guys. Does anybody know who I am at all? Yeah, a few people do. Okay, all right. My name is Mr. Wee. Okay, this might be old for you, Len, right? Or maybe, I don't know if I went through this with you. Okay, I said my name is Mr. Wee, but is that how it looks like it's spelled at all? No, right? How would you pronounce that upon first glance if I didn't tell you how to say my name? Try your best to say it. Yeah, go ahead. Hoi, right? Say it super fast. Like, I would say hooey, right? Hooey, right? Say it super fast, though. Ah, there you go. You just said my name perfectly, okay, in Vietnamese. Now, you can call me Mr. Hui, or you can just call me Mr. Wee, which makes it a little bit easier, okay? My parents don't call me Mr., or they don't call me Mr., but they don't call me Wee, or they don't call me Hui unless I'm in big trouble. Otherwise, for the most part, I'm just Wee, okay? Everybody got that so far? You guys good? Okay. Oh, go ahead and sign in, guys. Pick up a handout and then grab a chair and sit wherever you like, okay? All right, well, I'm going to go over some just basic logistics of this class, all right? Like what to expect, where to get your homework and stuff. Then I'm going to launch into some notes, and then we're going to kind of work on some problems, okay? Raise your hand if you've had Mr. Greenwood last year. Yes? Okay. So a lot of you guys are unfamiliar with Mr. Greenwood and his system. Okay, so let me introduce you to the math, the MEA math world here, right? So welcome, good sir, right? You must be new to the school, right? Okay. So this is my website. If you don't know how to access this, okay, I'll just show you really briefly. You just go to Mount. This is how I look up Mount Everest Academy. I literally just Google search it, press enter. Okay. Open this up. You guys are. It's good. We have a bigger class than last year already, so that's good. I like that. And then you go, so we're at the website. You just go under teachers, and then you go under, here I am, Tran Wee, right there. Hide this really quick. Here's my website. And just for additional information before we get to the nitty gritty, if you need to see me outside of class, I have tutoring times right here, which are offered right here on this tab. This will, if you click this link, it'll give you the times at which I'm available. There's some other additional stuff. The main place you want to go to is under Math, under Integrated Math 2, that first link, okay? Then over here, we have my cover sheets, which give you all the information for your homework, which I'm going to open up right now. And let's go through it really quick. Takes a minute to load up. And this is where all your homework's going to be. Raise your hand if you've already kind of started some of the homework or you've taken a look at it. Okay, not bad. Okay, all right. Well, if you haven't already, I would suggest to start now because it's like Thursday and it's like a little bit into the school year already. So I would suggest to start as much as you can now. We have lines of work. So it goes by line, like this is line 1, this is line 2, this is line 3. And I'll tell you exactly which page you need to be on, which section it is, and what problems I want you to get done, okay? These two things right here that are in blue, you actually have in your hand. That's the handout that you just picked up, okay? So you can look down on that if you'd like, all right? I actually added some things to this already. So if in case you lose this today, right, because you got butterfingers, that happens all the time to me, right? That happens all the times to me, okay? You can actually open it up here and just print it out as well, okay? Some other stuff I've added too is I've added the solutions to this, so you can actually check to see the work. I would suggest not just copying it. I'll tell you why. So there it's handwritten. I just finished it just a few minutes ago. And also, I actually created videos on how to do these worksheets as well, okay? These specific worksheets, because these worksheets feel like I'm doing the book work, and all of a sudden, I got these worksheets that are kind of out of place, okay? It's to help you to get ready for chemistry, as well as doing other things in other classes, I think like in biology. So we actually teach this lesson a lot. So you're going to see like a lot of overlap. If you're in Mr. Greenwood, you're going to have to do it. If you're in my chemistry class, you have to do it. If you're in my math class, you have to do it. If you're in biology, you have to do it. So this topic comes up a lot, this dimensional analysis, whatever it's called, okay? Here, I also just added 2 to skip number 8 on part 2. So I don't know which page it is, but I think it's way in the back. But you just letting you know, the questions are all like, I think like in the second to last page or last page. Do not do number 8. I'm going to have you skip that. And then pretty soon I'm going to post up a video and a solutions thing on here as well, okay? This is a Google Doc, so that means I can change it at any time. So if you guys come to tutoring and you show me a problem that I think is way too hard, I'm like, okay, I don't know why I assigned that. I'm going to try to email you guys and let you guys know that I updated the cover sheet. So always check this cover sheet, okay? If something's different, like something's different, I usually exit out in red. Like let's say number 4 right here on line 8 was way too hard. I'll actually highlight it and I'll actually create a strike through, okay? It'll be in red. Like, hey, you don't have to do that anymore, right? So that's the deal with my class. And that's incentive to go to tutoring, just be like, is this tough question going to be on the test or something? And I'll tell you, no, probably not, okay? The reason why I say don't copy solutions, because I give you solutions to everything. The reason why is because the textbook, and you have to take notes. So let's kind of go back for a second. Each section, I want you to take about a half page of notes, okay? Just write down any notes you can for that, right? Don't just copy problems, but like write down some actual notes. Like, okay, like this, the triangle equality theorem says this. I didn't really understand this. Just write notes to yourself. Each section needs about half a page of notes, okay? You can bullet point it. The notes and the assignments are only 20% total. So the notes are 5% of your overall grade. The textbook assignments are only 15% of your grade. It does affect the grade a lot. The monthly tests, though, are worth 75% of your grade. Okay, because this is an independent study. I don't know if you're actually learning the material and you're just copying it down. Okay, so the only way I can check to see if you really learned it is how well you do on my test. Okay, that being said, I offer a ton of retakes. So if you need to retake the exam, you have until the end of the semester to retake the exam, right? So I'll talk about more about retakes, or if we come to that point in time where you've taken a test and you're not happy with your score, I'll explain to you how to retake your test. Don't worry about it now. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information. You also have to correct your exam at the end of the month. That's worth 5% of your overall grade as well. Okay? Any questions so far? This cover sheet, make sure you sign it. You get your parent to sign it. Okay? And then you staple it to the front of all your work at the end. Okay? That's how the cover sheets are. Let's close that. Here I give you a few things, but this needs to change. This whole row right here, or this whole column over here to this right, all the way down, this is going to be dedicated just videos, right? So for the first video you're going to see on here, it's going to be this video right now that I'm recording, okay? So these videos are going to be an hour long. Sometimes they're going to be like 5 minutes long. Like some things I can't hit in class, I'm going to make an additional video for, okay? So like, hey, we didn't get to go through this topic, so I dedicated a 10-minute video on here, okay? So always check back to see what videos I upload, right? And I highly recommend you watch them. It's just like lecturing, right? This is like to me, I can only see you for about an hour a week, but I like to give you like kind of the traditional school treatment by giving you as much content as I can. So, I mean, I'd like to say it's optional, but definitely probably watch it. At least skim through it, like fast forward it and be like, I already know this, I didn't know this. Let me check this out, okay? It might be of help, right? Last thing I want to bring up is, does everybody have a smartphone or a laptop or something they have on them like right now? Okay, please get that out. Take a few minutes to take a look at this. I want you to add this. I want you to go to this website. Just type in this on like a browser, rmd.at/3, whatever that is. And then you're going to put your first, last name in and a phone number or email I can contact you at. The reason why I say that is because I send out a lot of class messages. Starting next week, I'm going to start doing it a lot. I'll be like, hey guys, the cover sheet's fixed, or hey, I just uploaded some videos. Hey, the test has been moved or something, right? I make a lot of updates, so put yourself in this remind and I can contact you, okay? If you don't, then I'm going to be like, didn't you get the email? Like, I never got the email. You're kind of out of luck then, because I don't know what to tell you. Like, you should have gotten the email. If you don't like the phone number thing, put down an email, but somewhere where I could reach you. Don't put in your student or don't put in your student email, okay? Or else I won't be able to contact you at all. It just doesn't work. So if you're gonna put in an email, put in like your personal email, okay? And I think you could do it this way too if you're lazy. You could just text to this number as well, 8101 81010. Sorry, 81010. You could text this to this number, and then you're automatically joined into this class as well. Okay, but I like the top method a little bit more. And pick somewhere where you can get attachments, because I sometimes I put in some stuff like, hey guys, I think this video link's gonna be awesome or something. So if that works on your phone, then great. If it doesn't, then maybe put in your email address. Someone just say I got it. Yeah, all right, good, awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Hey, while you guys are doing this, I'm also doing something else up here. I'm going to my Google Classroom. Oh, and I guess I didn't bring this up, but let me get to the cover sheet too as well. Oh dear. Okay. We put up the remind thing again. Okay, so the remind thing's still up there. On this cover sheet, I didn't tell you. I forgot to tell you this. This is very important. Again, if you're not familiar with this, how this class works, let's see. On page 3 of the cover sheet, there's a pacing guide, right? I think a lot of you guys might have already seen this, but here, this tells you where you should be within the week, okay? It's suggested. A lot of people don't go by this and do it at the end of the month. I know that. But try not to do that, because if you don't practice like every day, just like a little bit, like half an hour to an hour a day of work, a little bit, then you're not going to do well in the exam, okay? And then you're going to be playing catch up the whole year. Like, okay, I'll just study and retake the exam in month 2. But then at the same time, you're trying to pass month 2. But then you're trying to retake your exam. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you get way behind. And then pretty much it begins like the snowball effect of just you not doing well in the class. As long as you get like a pretty good start, like you just keep busy, like you just keep basically moving your pen on the paper, okay? And you just do the work, right? And you like, oh, I got that wrong, right? You just go through you just go through the motions. You'll be solid in this class, okay? Like anything in school, but I don't know. Math I tend to look at as just numbers, so it's not too bad. Okay, so like let's say on September 12th, you should be on line 13. If you don't remember what the lines are, again, each of these assignments are by line. Okay, there are 2 pages, so don't be like, oh, I'm done with the first page, I'm done. There is one more line of work. Okay, don't worry about this grayed out part. Okie dokie. Let's go over here. One more thing you guys got to do before we start our notes. Please copy this down. You don't have to do it now unless you got a Google Classroom app or something on your phone. The class code. Add yourself to this class. Let me see if I could display it bigger. Whoa, there we are, right? Big and bold, right? So we can see it. 302ZK50, right? We're not going to turn anything in. Don't worry. People are like, this is math. What do I got to do on Google Classroom now? You don't have to do anything in Google Classroom for this class. But there is something on Google Classroom that might help you, okay? It might just help you. So write that down. I'll show you what it will help you with, but give me 1 second. I'm going to pass around a note card too as well. You guys got a lot to do already on the first day. Huh? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's intentional. That's deliberate. Where are my note cards? Can you take a note card of this? On this note card that I'm passing around, I want you guys to put in your name, a parent name, guardian name, whoever, right? And then their email or phone number in which I can like talk to them, right? The reason why is they're not here to put themselves in a remind, right? So I want this information so I can put it in remind, okay? Okay, if you don't know what remind is, has anybody used remind before? Anybody have? Yeah, you have? Okay, you have? Okay. What is it? I don't know what it is.
It's an app where basically you can send you like little text on it that's let you know notifications about what's going on.
Okay, cool. Sweet, just a reminder. I should have asked you that way in the beginning because I just figured I did talk about the texting part. So that's kind of self-explanatory. But in case you didn't know, Remind is like an app or program where I can just reach out and talk to you guys. I used Jupiter Ed last year. It's awesome, but we're not going to use it this year. Okay, so hold on to those note cards. I'll ask for them at the end of the, at the end of the class. So let's multitask. Did everybody get the Google Classroom code down? Either they wrote it down or they entered it into Google Classroom. All right, very good. If you didn't, just email me. The reason why you do want this is because look at this classroom. You get all the solutions for all the work. Remember, the work's only like 20% of your grade because I give you all the solutions. Because this is independent study, you're not going to see me every day. How the heck are you going to know that you're doing anything right? So at the very least, I want you to check your work. So if like you're on section 0-1, okay, I would open this up. Okay, it is a PDF. It's 4 pages worth, and I would find the problem. Look, I'm stuck on number 14. Let's go to number 14. Okay. All right, there we are. Number 14. How do I do that? Let me see what they did to get there, okay? So it's a good way for you to check. And in case you still don't understand the work, my tutoring hours are on my window right over there. On your way out of the class, go ahead and take a picture of that nice little tutoring time window, okay? And then you can kind of see when you can come in. No appointment needed. Just come in and come and see me, and I'll show you what to do. We're going to work on the whiteboard a lot, okay? Any questions? Yeah. The note card, your name, your parent name, like a parent name, doesn't have to be both, and just an email, their email and their phone number, okay? Or their phone number. So just in case, like, like we need to talk, like, hey, like, how's Spud doing? I just want to know how Spud is. So, like, I'll have a way to access and contact them, right, through Remind. Okay. That's it for Google Classroom. That's literally it. You just go there. Actually, let me ask you a question. Why do you guys think that I can't just put up the solutions on my website? I could just do that, right? Why do you think I had to put it in this password protected place? Any ideas on why that could be? Yeah, what do you think? That's true. That's very true. It should only be with the students that I know and I'm letting them see it, right? Also, you brought up a good point. Everyone can see it. If everybody in the world can technically see it, I'm not saying like, like a superstar is going to come on and be like, all right, this is the deal, right? While I'm on tour and I'm like doing some, I don't know, like crazy entertainment stuff, okay? I want to see these answers for this book. Why is it bad that everybody in the world has access to it? Who would be mad about that? Who do you think would be mad about it? Len. The producers? What do you mean, produce? Huh? The teacher's editions do, right? We pay a lot of money for one teacher edition, okay? Here's the deal. If the publisher of this book realizes I just gave out their printed solutions, even though it's technically printed, right, to the rest of the world, and we didn't pay for the rights for the rest of the world to have, we got to pay the world rate. Every individual student that gets a solutions manual, technically, we have to pay for, right? But now in this digital age, it's a little bit different. It's a little harder to kind of keep track of. But if they just look at the website and be like, you just gave this out to everybody out in the world, you have to pay for everybody in the world. That's, equates to a few $1,000,000. We don't have that kind of money, okay? So if I put in this password protected Google Classroom place, then we should be good. Sorry guys, my shoelace is stuck in the chair. I've never had this problem before. This is happening. Okay, we're good. Any questions so far? No? No questions? All right. Everybody please get out a clean sheet of paper. We're going to take some notes. And then we're also, let's see. Oh, are we still recording here? Yeah, we are. Okay. We're also going to do some board work too as well. You can already see that there's already work been done before. So just prepare yourselves for that. Any other questions? No? Yeah, Allison? In here? On the note card? Yep, yeah, your name, just so I know whose parent I'm looking at, Like, I don't know whose parent this is. But if it says Allison Fisher, I'm like, all right, that's Allison's father, mother, whoever, caretaker, whoever it is. Grandpappy. All right, guys, we're going to start off with a bang. 0-1 is the section. I like to put my section name on the left-hand side of this paper, and this is called dimensional analysis. Does anybody recall or ever heard of this dimensional analysis? You have? Very cool. Can you give us not a rundown, but can you... No, but do you remember anything about it? What did you do in dimensional analysis? What was it? Don't recall 100%, right? What it is? Okay. No worries. No worries. Yeah, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, totally got that. Okay. Well, let's start off with a few things. We need to know a few facts. Like this. If I asked you how many inches are in a foot, well, how many inches are in a foot? You know where I'm going with this. Now it's kind of coming back to you. Does anybody know how many inches are in 1 foot? Yes? 12. Yeah, all right, that's good. Let me teach you this. You could rewrite this as for every 12 inches, there's a foot. That's not wrong, is it? That's correct, yeah. For every 12 inches, there's a foot. And you can also write it as 1 foot over 12 inches. Okay, there's a purpose to why I did that. Okay, how about how many feet are in a yard? 1 yard. Who said that? Nice, 3. Okay, 3 feet are in a yard, right? Again, I could put that as 3 feet over 1 yard, and 1 yard is 3 feet. 3 foot. Sorry. What else do we know? Can someone else tell me some other stuff that they know? Anything else random that we might want to know? What are some common ones, do you think? How about milk? Does anybody know milk and their units? Like when you buy milk, like a gallon? Okay. What do we know about? Huh? Wait, what is it? I'm sorry. For 1 gallon, what? All right. So how many quarts are there in a gallon? Does anybody know how many? Yeah. Yeah, there's 4 quarts. That's another rate. You see what I'm saying? That's another fact. Sorry, that's not a G. That's a Q. All right, I write my Q's pretty weird. All right. So for every 4 quarts, there is a gallon. For every 1 gallon, there are 4 quarts. Anything else anybody can come up with? Yeah, what do you got? Sure. They're interchangeable. How many ounces are in a pound? Trivia question. Yes, there we go. For every 16 ounces, OZ, there is 1 pound. So I say for every 1 pound, there's 16 ounces. And for every 16 ounces, there's 1 pound. Anything else? Can anybody else recall anything else? How about centimeters? How many centimeters are in a meter? Yeah, there we are. So on a meter stick, if you have a meter stick, how many centimeters are on there? So this is a meter stick, 1 meter. How many centimeters are you going to find? Yeah, 100. Get it? Yeah, so yeah, kind of makes sense. Are they different? 100 centimeters versus 1 meter. Is anyone longer than the other? No, they're exactly the same, right? I know you're like, well, duh, I see the equal sign. You're gonna see why. I gotta make this a good message to you guys. Okay, 1 meter for every 100 centimeters, and 100 centimeters to a meter. Okay, this is gonna set up what we're gonna learn today. Okay, so just keep that in mind for facts. Now, here are some problems we're gonna go over. If you have 36 inches, don't say it out loud. How many feet do we have? If we have, let's see, 4 feet, how many inches do we have? If we have 3 yards, how many inches do we have? Okay, what I want you to do now, find at least one person you're like pretty comfortable with, or just a person that's nearby, okay? If we don't have like everybody paired up, then you can work in it as a group of 3. Only if we don't have everyone paired up with someone. Find a whiteboard space out there, all right? Any whiteboard space, okay? There's one next to, what's your name? Catherine. There's one next to Catherine, okay? So you can pull down your table. There's one next to, what's your names? Ethan, okay? There's one next to you right there, okay? There's one next to Ethan over here, all right? What's your name? Jordan? 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 All right, sorry. All right, so I'm going to post up the solution. It's going to be times 12 inches, 1 foot. That will give me 10 feet. 9.05 kilograms times 1 kilogram on the bottom and 1,000 grams on the top. That will give me 9,050. And then kilometers, we know that for every 1 kilometer, there's 1,000 meters. The kilometers will cancel out and you get 10,000 meters. Okay, guys, so go ahead, check your answers. Very good job. Write this down in your notes if you can, okay? And then you guys can go ahead and sit down, and we're going to go over some new material now, okay? We're going to move on for dimensional analysis. So your worksheet, like I mentioned before, if you look at your worksheet, it's pretty tough, I would say. Some of these problems are pretty easy. Some of them, I'd say, get really hard pretty quick. Ethan, can you hand me one of the worksheets, actually, so I can kind of show the people what's going on? Yeah. Thank you so much, Ethan. Back here is a bunch of different facts, okay? And Ethan, can you also get the door for me too? Sorry, Ethan. Yeah, I'm asking so much of you, buddy. Okay. How you guys use the back here, all right? How you guys use the back of the paper, like the very back of the thing, it tells you the conversions. Like 1 liter is equivalent to 1,000 milliliters. So you could write 1 liter. Don't write this down, but I'm just saying you can. 1 liter over 1,000 milliliters. You find your conversion factors back here. Also, how you read this is 1 liter is also equivalent to 1.057 quarts, let's say. 1 liter is also equivalent to 1.057 quarts. You can also make the relationship between this and this. As long as they're kind of like parallel to each other, these rows, they're pretty much equivalent to each other, okay? So the back here has a ton of this stuff. You don't know which ones to use. But let's say your questions. So by the way, all these pages are just sample problems. So you can watch it and look at how it's being done. Okay. You as an independent learner are going to read. You guys can read through this and see how it gets set up. Okay. I just explained it to you, but if you're better at reading this stuff, then we have the directions right here. The second to last page is where the actual problems are. So this is a part 1, and this is part 2. This is part 1, and this is part 2. You guys are going to do both parts for homework. Which problem do you skip? Does anybody remember at the beginning of class? I said skip one of these problems. 8. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Ethan. Okay, 8. So do not do 8. You can cross that out. That's a tough one. Okay, I'm not going to have you guys do this yet. Yes. No, I don't. You know what's And the bad thing is, like, I literally printed out one for almost all the classes except yours. No tough love against you guys. I didn't mean that, okay? I did not mean that, all right? I woke up from taping so much and making videos that I suddenly realized I got 10 minutes of class. I'm not going to have time to print this out. So my apologies, okay? Love you guys, right? I don't mean to do bad things to you guys, okay? So on the cover sheet, the reason why I wanted to bring it up, again, if you don't remember how to do this stuff, I made videos for part 1 right now. There's tutorial number 1, tutorial number 2. You can also check the solutions for how I did it. Part 2 is really hard, okay? I would say it's really tough. Come and get help from me, or just wait until I can get the videos up for this guy, okay? Part 2 is not what I'm going to test you on, by the way. I'm only going to test you on part 1 stuff, okay? But part 2, you kind of want to get practice in now. So if you feel like I don't get part 2 at all, Mr. Wee, okay, don't worry about it, all right? It's really tough stuff. You can skip it and go to the next problem, or just come back to it at some point, okay? All right, let's go through some new content. I don't think I'm going to get through everything I want to today, so be on the lookout on my website. I'm going to probably post up another video on the stuff that I want to go over this week, okay? So the next part, we did section 0.1. If you I know you don't have a cover sheet, but please believe me. The next section is 0.7. We're going to skip that. We're going to skip the content there. Skip the content in terms of going over it. It's pretty easy stuff, so we're not going to do that together, okay? What we are going to go over is 0.10. This is called square roots. This section is square roots. All right, smarty pants. Does anybody remember the square root of 9? 3. Very good. Does anybody remember the square root of 4? Okay, how about the square root of 36, guys? Okay, fine. How about the square root of 25? Oh, yeah? Well, 121. Oh, okay. All right. Didn't stump you guys. How about 144? Okay. Oh, yeah? How about the square root of 45? Not as a clear number, right? But there is still a square root, though, right? It's a decimal. That's correct. How about if I show you review a method where you can come up with a number without using a calculator? Okay. I like Mateo's. What? You crazy? Okay. That is correct. Here's how I'm going to do it. Let's go back to something a little bit easier. The square root of 9. Does anybody remember what two numbers can you multiply to get to 9? 3 and 3, right? So let me say this. If you can, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out 9 into as many factors as I can get, 3 and 3. Okay? If maybe you guys remember this, maybe you don't. But underneath the square root sign, if you have a pair of numbers, of factors that are the exact same, you have a pair, like two of them, they can actually come out as 1, 3. Does that make sense? Let's do that again for, let's say, 4. Besides 4 times 1, what are two factors that can multiply to get to 4? Yes. 2 times 2. Again, do I have a pair of numbers that I can pull out? Yeah, it's 2 and 2. Since I have a pair of 2s, I can pull them out and I get 2. Let's go to something a little bit more difficult. How about 36? I have a few combinations here. Don't just say 6 and 6. What's another pair that I can try? 9 and what else? 9 times what? Okay, but yet we know the square root of 36 is a clean number, 6. And my technique here kind of falls apart, right? It looks like it's falling apart. Like, I can't grab out 9 and 4. Does anybody have any suggestions for what I might be able to do? Yes, miss? Can I factor out 9, guys, further? Yeah, Allison? Yeah, can I? Into what numbers? What factors can I factor it out into, Allison? 3 and 3. Oh, there's my first pair I can grab out. That's a 3. That's a solid 3 now. What about 4? Can I factor that further into two factors or however? 2 and 2 times 2 times 2. Again, that's another pair of numbers. So if they both come out, it's going to come out as this: 3, a solid 3, and a solid 2. Again, that will give me 6. Is the square root of 36 not 6? Right? Yeah, it is, right? But let's go back to that problem that we couldn't quite do in our heads. The square root of 45. Let's take it step by step. What factors of 45 can I pull out of 45? What factors can multiply to 45? Yeah, 9 and 5. That's a great start. 9 times 5. Can I factor out 5 any further? Not really. You can do 5 and 1, but that doesn't count, okay? Not quite. How about 9? I like that word decompose. Can you decompose and factor it even further? Yeah, I got 2 3s. Is that a pair I can pull out? So now that that gets pulled out, my final answer is going to be 3. That 5 did not leave underneath, right? That little umbrella. So it stays under that square root umbrella. And I got 3 root 5. Is that good, guys? You guys getting that? Okay. Does that seem sort of familiar? I'm going to give you a crazy one. We're not done yet. What if I gave you 50 x squared y cubed? I just threw you a curveball, didn't I? What? How is this not a curveball? Okay, well, let's take it step by step. Let's do 50. Let's just do 50. Let's deal with the letters and the variables last. How can we factor out 50? What numbers can we factor out of 50? Just the first two factors. What two easy factors can I do? Yeah, 25 times 2. Why not? Let's do 25 times 2 times x squared times y cubed. I'm going to do this in a bunch of steps, okay? That doesn't look that great, but hold on. Is there a pair of number, or is there a number that I can factor out of 25 maybe? Yeah, it's a sequence of 2 5s. Very good. So it's 5 times 5. I could factor out 25 down to 2 5s. So that's a pair of numbers. Now the x's, though. How do I deal with the x's? Oh, your notation and nomenclature is very good. But in layman's terms, if we can, okay? If it's x squared, how many x's are being multiplied to each other? Just 2. So I'm going to write out literally 2 factors of x, right? That's a pair I can pull out, right? How about y? If you see y cubed, how many y's are being multiplied to each other? 3, literally. Times y times y times y. Is there a pair of y's I can grab out? Yeah, there's one, two. There's at least one pair, right? So all these numbers are going on the outside now. So as 1 5, 1 x, and 1 y. What is still left inside of the square root sign? The 2 and the y are going to be left alone. My folks, you just got the square root of this insanely weird number, this mixed number, 50x squared y cubed. Now you can actually say, oh, the square root of that is 5xy root 2y, okay? I don't know where you would say that, but you would say it to someone and they would be impressed, okay? There's practical application to this. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a problem. Why not? Here's your problem. I want you and a partner now. Let's switch it up. Find a new partner. No one can work with the same partner. Find a new partner and solve this problem. Find a new place on the whiteboard too, if you may. Okay. All right, guys. That's your task. Find use some markers, erasers. Find a new partner. Mix it up, guys. Work with someone new that you've never worked with. And please get up. Everyone get up now. Get up. Get up. Get up. If you don't find anyone, I'm going to start pairing you up. So don't worry. I'll pair you up. Yes, Jordan. Huh? Oh, sorry. Sorry, Jordan. I'm like all covering up like, nah, you don't get this.
Oh, wait. Are we doing the 98x?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Jordan Catriella, that's great. What's your name, Miss?
Hannah.
Hannah. Okay, great. Nice to meet you, Hannah. Okay, I'm Mr. Week. Okay, Hannah, who am I going to pair you up? Oh, Allison, could you work with Hannah? Oh, thank you so much. See ya. No, all right, Allison, here you are. You guys have a great time. Have a good old hoot, right? Thank you very much. What time is it right now?
It's 1:40, so we have 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So it looks like I'm going to get the last part on another video.
Alright.
I would. I would probably divide it by square. Because it's honestly they divided it by 2. Because if you don't have
If you don't know where to begin, guys, go ahead and look at other people's work too. This is not an exam, so you can be like, how did he do it? How did she do it? Right?
Okay, true. I worked on my own last time.
take a look around and then try to figure it out.
But this is so much simpler.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
This is what I did for homework.
Oh, nice. What do you got, Alice?
3 X's and 6 Y's.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, you can go ahead and write it down. Yep. Have to a good stat.
Break down.
Wait, if there's 3 pairs of Y's, would it be Y or Y to outside?
Okay, it would be, well, remember, when you pull them out, are they multiplying to each other?
No.
No.
So, you remember the last one I had was 5 times 5 times 2 times x times x times y times y. That was my last solution, right? And I pulled this out.
Like,
Just roll with
find
5.
something that's gonna.
Y, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I added them together, remember, you cannot divide like terms in such a way where I get like 7. It would have to say 5 plus x plus y.
Really?
Yeah. So, my final answer, though, is not 5 plus x plus y. It was 5x plus y. Okay. So, what did I do? Did I multiply them? Or did I add them plus y? Okay. So, whenever you add, or whenever you multiply x times x, and I add x plus x plus x, I have how many x's?
And then this
2 x's.
would end up.
So yeah, you have X on the outside.
It's really an easy way to say it. That's the way I can say it.
The Y, you multiply that like.
So, I like to think of it as like a pool of x's. Like if there's 2 x's together, how many do you
Yeah.
use? I see 2 x's.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So then
So
you
you have
already got the
Y.
So in this case, if you have 3
yeah.
y's, let's write that out.
Okay.
Y times y.
Oh, you still have the 7 on the inside. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there we
Good
go.
Good. I like it.
Bit hard. That's true.
Right? Huh. You think you know? You do. Whatever. It's fine. Good. Great job. You do.
Oh, I should even do this. I should even still.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
probably.
You remember my last 5 times 5? Actually, my prepared skin.
It's been drilled into my head since I was like 3.
So, grab this and grab this way and last. Yeah,
My grandmother.
add it.
That's the rest for There is.
And I can see she's probably not I see the veins on your face when I say that, and so it clearly made you know that.
This was my answer. That implies I hope. This was my answer. This was my answer. Okay, you guys are thinking, now I have 3 pairs of blocks.
I don't know what you
Only
get.
no. We forgot to put an X on the outside because it was X.
It's X.
We wrote down the wrong.
Oh,
It was X to the 3rd power. I thought it was 2nd. There we go. It's. I did 2.
well, I mean, that like can still count, but it's just not
Simplified all the way, yeah.
But if I multiply, it's kind of like
I just did the first one that came in my head. What do you guys have?
I mean, we did the same.
We didn't do 249. Oh, you did 740.
I literally say, I added
Yeah, so
one total of the y.
I don't know. You did it on
Wait, why is that 14?
Alright, guys, that is the end of class. I have one more problem to go over, but I'm not going to have time, so I'm going to post a video on that. Hopefully by tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay?
That's second 14.
Alright, guys, please put back the chairs.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. Before you guys leave, please stack up the chairs back.
Yeah.
I already knew.
No, don't worry about it. Oh, and the note cards for me. Okay, so I'm going to come around with the note cards, please stack your chairs back.
This is literally the first. Just so I need word on if I still do science fair or not.
Anytime, I don't think this would be just.
Leaving.
I am leaning towards not needing the science person posted classes. Oh, I see. So you're saying I did it for so many times. I don't want to do this part. Or like, I know how to do this. I don't know.
I know how to do it, but like, I wish I didn't know as well.
Are you really? You're probably going to do science because I don't want to do the astrophysics thing.
No. Everything's up.
Yeah, I have no original ideas.
Oh, also.
I have an original idea you can steal from me. I have some of the research for it. Going into the science.
Oh, I actually.
But isn't it?
Hey, you just what? Yeah. Hey, look, it's so fun. Until
Last year I came here.
We all are at some level.
Free and still had to do a science fair project, and Michelle didn't make it clear to us at first to my family that
Hey, you should turn that
it
on,
was
'cause then
supposed
you
to
can
be
save all the
based
music.
on the type of science class you were taking. So
Oh.
geared towards a physics project on tsunamis and wave breakers.
Yeah.
Like different methods.
Yeah.
And so I still have all the information I picked up in the first little while I was working on that before she interrupted my little streak there. So,
Oh no. Okay, I got you. Every teacher's a little bit different. So last year I was strict on chemistry, but this year I'm gonna try
my
not having
parents and I were going to build a wave table and
it. That's cool. That's really sick.
3D print like bottle breakers and stuff.
Wow, that's really cool. So different breaks and stuff and how they break. Oh, that's.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different methods. So
But you're doing it to scale at an affordable scale too. That's really smart because science, you're trying to put that in an affordable scale.
yeah, it was like a wooden, like we were gonna do like a wooden tub where we were gonna build one that was like 6 feet long and just wash it back and forth.
That's really cool. I think the only thing they control is like how you're gonna wash it back and forth though, because that sometimes you might do a little bit harder than other times.
No, yeah, there's people who've done kind of like not the same thing but similar, like making wave tables before, and you can do it like there was a guy who actually rigged, like the little pendulum things. He
Rigged it to
rigged
a wood or something.
He rigged it to a cord with a wood paddle.
That's
like that
awesome.
before,
So that
and
way,
so-
yeah, he can't do any harm. That's really smart.
yeah, so it was consistent. the
That's
entire
awesome.
time,
I like that. All right, so you're already thinking like 4 or 5 steps ahead.
I'm probably going into law.
Allison, if you can you
Why do you
get
wanna
Ethan's
go
chair
into
and your
law?
chair, stack it there too as well?
Great
Right.
debate.
And Catriella, or before you guys leave,
Oh,
please
yeah.
stack that chair back. Thank you guys. How can I help you?
I had a question about the cover sheet.
But still,
So there was something on the notes, but like all the sections, there was nothing written for notes except for the last couple. Is that how
It's still implied that you gotta do.
you have to do?
Oh wait! Oh shoot! Only the last ones, not the 0, like 0-2.
Yeah.
Those ones are just review, so you don't need to write.
Oh, you don't need
those.
to. Oh, okay.
Only for the
Dang it,
new
I've
ones.
been doing notes
Really?
for all of
Turn
them.
it in. Just put in like extra credit at the top, and I'll give you extra credit for doing
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's to your benefit. So.
Okay, but I've only. How many have I done?
Yeah. If you
I don't know,
like,
but I've done like I think like 3 or maybe 4.
Great. I'll give you a few points for each one.
Okay,
So, yeah,
okay, thank
yeah,
you.
that works out.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. No worries. Yeah. Okay. And yes. Oh, sorry. Catherine was first.
yeah.
Allison. Then I'll
About the cover sheet, so some of the lines just had page numbers. So, are those just, you said we take notes on those?
Oh.
Or like half-page notes? Are those just pages we read in the textbook, and then on the pack you made out, is that like actual work?
So let's check it out. I'm gonna have it up. So,
Like lines 1 and 2, how these are just...
these
Yeah.
are the problems that you gotta solve. So no notes.
Oh, okay.
No notes for this. No notes for this. No note. Yeah. So these are all review. All the new stuff should have some notes. So let's see. Yeah. So anything that says like 1-6, 1-7, those are the guys you got to do notes for, and 1-5. These 3. The rest you do not have to put in notes. Okay.
Okay, so the last 3 are notes?
Yeah, I super apologize. If you see any of your classmates and they're like, I don't know if Mr. Weed did this,
Oh.
just explain it to them.
Okay, yeah.
All right, thank you, Catherine. Allison, how can I help you?
so what do you?
Oh, what do I need? I just need your name, then a parent name, and then their email or phone number, if that's okay. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, if you don't know, it's okay. You can turn it to me later, Allison. That works. It's great to see you, Allison. I haven't seen you in a long time. Okay, so... Oh. going to write out the rest of the solution. This is 49 times 2 times x times x times x times y times y times y times y times y times y. Okay, so this can break further into 7 and 7. So you know what? This is just for anybody that's still watching. So this pair can come out. I see a pair of x's that can come out, and then I see 3 pairs of y's. And a lot of people have been asking me. So I have 2 and y left. Oh, thank you very much, Allison. All right, have a good day, Allison. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me, what are we going to have as a final answer? Let me make this big. I got 7 times a singular 7, a singular x, and I have 3 y's. Is my answer going to be 3y, or is it going to be y cubed? Well, if you think about it, each y represents, or each pair of y's represents a solid y, like y times y times y. If you notice, it's multiplying to each other. If I added them together, y plus y, you can literally count out how many things you have. I have one y adding to another y, I have adding to another y. In total, I have 3 different y's. Sort of like if you had a pool of y's, I have 1, 2, 3, and I added them together. Please add up how many y's you got total. I have 3 y's in front of me. Get it? But when you multiply them, you add this weird dimension of multiplication. I don't know how to represent that, so the best way I could say it is an exponent. Okay, I have 3 powers of y. Okay, so that's going to be the final answer right there. 7x y cubed times 2y, and that's your final answer. Okay, thank you guys for coming to class. So I'm going to stop the video right here, and then I'm going to continue on with one more subject. It's going to be called conjugates. That's going to be in a part 2 video if you're still with me. Okay, guys, thank you guys very much for following along if you're watching this at home.